Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Thursday, January the 24th. We'll close out the Aqueduct card with race number 8, a one-turn mile maiden special weight for 3-year-old fillies. Before we begin with the analysis, I want to remind everybody about the new contest presented by DRF and Woodbine. Cast your fan vote for Horse of the Year and enter to win a trip to Woodbine's Queen's Plate this June. Find out all the details at drf.com/eclipse. Let's meet the field for race number 8 at the Big A on Thursday. You can access free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, beginning with the number 1, Canarsie Girl, who improved a little bit last time out in the mud, Mike. She's going to have to stretch out in distance. I'm not really that concerned about the distance. I do wonder, after studying her pedigree, if she might be more of a turf horse down the road.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the mile. I'm with you. I sort of don't really think it has to work against her stretching out. I just wonder how good she is after her first 2 starts. I'll give her debut. She did improve last time, but it was just one of those situations where, you know, she was never a real threat in that race. She did get 3rd, but never looked like she was going to get more than that. I'm just not sure how good this horse is.
Fast workout leading up to this race. Perhaps she'll show a little bit more early interest as she stretches out from 6.5 furlongs to a mile. The number 2 is the Maryland-bred Makato, who did not do much running at all first time out. She adds Lasix. Maybe she bled in her career debut. Well, let's be honest, she's just simply going to have to do a lot better. Kind of hard to recommend at 30-1.
Yeah, she is. She'll be a big price in this race. So if you think all she needed was a little bit of Lasix, then maybe you want to take a shot.
The number 3, Joyful Frolic's got a lovely pedigree. She's a daughter of Curlin. Her dam was a 4-time stakes winning router, and Joyful Frolic is a half to a 5-time stakes winner named Frolic's Revenge. So wasn't it kind of a tell that this filly was so chilly on the tote board in her career debut, and then she didn't do much running? I'm not sure what to think. Sharp trainer in Danny Gargan.
Yeah, I agree with all those things. I mean, I'm not prepared just to give up on her yet because she has some things going for her, but clearly she has to run a lot better in her second start than she did first time out. I think there's a chance that she could do it. I always take Danny Gargan's horses very seriously. So at a big price, maybe you want to try and throw her in there somewhere.
Morning line favorites, the number 4, Painter by Numbers, West Point Thoroughbreds, George Weaver. Solid, certainly from a speed figure aspect. 64 buyer last time out, 97 time form U.S. pace adjusted figure. I think a lot of folks are going to look at that last race, Mike, and say it was a bad loss because she opened up a pretty big lead at the 3/16 pole, and then she was run down late by a long shot. She was odds on that day. I'm going to take a more favorable approach. I didn't think she broke very well. She was very wide on the backstretch. She angled down towards the rail and maybe kind of got suckered through on the inside to battle with a couple of horses. I thought she ran okay. I'm not sure I'd want to take much less than 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she ran okay too, but I do think it was a pretty bad loss because overall, she got a really good trip in that race. That pace was contested in front of her. She sat off it. And yes, you're right, she didn't break that great. She didn't break that great in her debut either, so that's going to be a problem for her going forward. She has to figure that out. Overall, she's been bet very hard in her 2 starts. Hasn't managed to get it done either time. They're not disasters, but she needs to do better than that, especially if she's going to be a short price. I think she will be a short price. I wanted to try to beat her in this race.
Are you concerned about the one-turn mile for her while she is by Painter? Her dam was kind of a fast and precocious sprint type as a 2-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the one-turn mile should be okay for her. I'm not going to hold it down to distance with her right now. I just feel like she's the kind of horse I don't want a short price on.
Mike, you mentioned that she hasn't broken well in either one of her starts. If she does break well, Timeform US believes that she might have a comfortable trip on the lead, as we see from our Timeform US pace projector, perhaps facing a little bit of heat from the number 5, Kariba, stretching out in distance for Kieran McLaughlin. I wonder about distance for this one. She's by Cairo Prince, but the dam's a half to Hello Liberty, who was a graded stakes winner sprinting, and also a stakes winner sprinter named Pius Ashley. But Kieran McLaughlin knows what he's doing, and this filly's improved with each start.
Yeah, I thought this horse was pretty interested in here, especially if you can get the 4-1 on her. Her debut was just one of those situations where she doesn't look like a horse who really needed the race. Junior Alvarado couldn't even ride her in the stretch. She would not keep a straight course. It wasn't a bad place to start, and she did take a step forward last time. The horse to beat her just got to the front and wired the field. This horse did well to be second. I think she'll handle the mile.
Number 6 is Stonewalker. I liked Stonewalker last time out, and she just couldn't step with Miss Maryland and Always Shopping in the Stretch. It was her first race at a mile, her first race on Fast Going. While her dam is a full sister to Unbridled Express, who is third in the Hopeful, I look deep in this pedigree, and I see a lot of strong Japanese turf influences, and I wonder if maybe this is a horse you can put away on the horse watch and wait for the spring when they switch to the grass.
Yeah, I could see this horse getting a shot on turf, too. Another horse who looks like she fits pretty well in this field. Yep. I don't have any real knocks on her first 2 starts. Just wasn't any match for those 1-2 finishers last time. This is a horse who could easily do better.
The 7 Leroy Sweetie Pie looks like a surprise package for trainer James Lawrence, 10-1 on the morning line. This filly I thought ran okay in her career debut behind a sharp winner, a horse that came back to score with a 64 Beyer speed figure. And from a pedigree standpoint, this dam's a full to graded stakes winning routers Turf War and Grasshopper. This horse has been working well at Fair Hill for this race. Tell me a little bit about the trip from the last start.
Yeah, a lot of things to like about this horse. It's interesting because in that race, first time out, they just rated her right from the start of the race. They just took her back off the pace. They kept her sort of on the outside all the way. And it just so happened that when they came to the stretch, she wound up in a really tight spot behind the winner and just had to steady pretty hard. I think that really cost her. I don't think she was going to win that race, but it really cost her the traffic she got into. And she just raced on to get 4th at the end. This is a filly who could very easily take a big step forward in here at a price.
I wonder if the number 8 Solent will be bet down a little bit off that 7-2 morning line. This is a Juddmonte homebred trained by Chad Brown. The dam Sightseek, a 6-time Grade 1 stakes winner. Solent is a half to Rezo de Tatu is a Grade 3 placed router. This filly probably will appreciate a little bit of distance. She ran okay in her debut, and here's a Chad Brown formulator fact. Past 4 years with second-time starting 3-year-olds stretching out in Aqueduct maiden special weights on the dirt, 50% winners, 12 of 14 on the board, 282 ROI. What did you think of her debut?
I thought she ran okay in there. It was one of those races that Alicia, who won the race, had experience. She'd already run well twice, and she just went to the lead on a fast pace in that race and gave nobody any chance. I thought this horse actually ran well because she didn't break great in that race. She won a blast, and then she started chasing. I thought she did well to get second. I'm with you. I think she's going to improve in this race. The formulator stat suggests that she will, and I think she's probably less than 7-2 as well.
Todd Pletcher, first-time starter, shipping up from Florida is the number 9 Team Win. This is a Rapoli homebred by Malibu Moon, who clicks with 11% of his older debut runners. This dam was stakes placed on the turf, has foaled 1 winner from 1 runner. This is the family of Lido Palace, who is a multiple graded stakes winner going long, so no surprise that Todd's debuting this one at a mile. I'm just not really sure this is kind of the Todd MO, debuting 3-year-olds at a mile in New York.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, it won't be surprised if she runs pretty well. There is some pedigree. It's just, listen, the Pletcher 2-year-olds and the first-time starters anyway throughout 2018 weren't horses that you really wanted to be betting on, which is a little bit of a surprise. We'll see if he can turn it around this year. It's not like she's landed in some soft spot. There's some horses in here who have some talent.
Let's take a look at our top selections for Thursday's DRFBets race of the day. I'm hoping for a Timeform US 2-speed number. Painter by numbers, Kariba, the 4 and the 5, perhaps relaxing out there on the early lead. I'm going to be a little bit more forgiving of Painter by numbers' most recent loss. Had to do a little bit of work angling down towards the inside, getting involved with some horses before opening up on the turn. Maybe that sapped her stretch kick just a little bit. But I think you have the intriguing value play of the race in the 7 Leroy Sweetie Pie, who I thought gained a really good amount of experience in that learning debut.
Yeah, hopefully she can take a step forward. I think she'll be the right price. It's just the kind of race game where I don't want Painter by numbers at a short price in the win pool anyway. I thought Solent had a real chance to beat her. I thought Kariba had a real chance to beat her. And I'm hoping Leroy Sweetie Pie can take a step forward at a bigger price.
Mike's looking at the 7 Leroy Sweetie Pie, 10-1 on the morning line. The 8 and the 5 also usable for him. I think Painter by numbers perhaps can take these on a merry chase if she breaks well. I'll go 4-5-8-1 in Thursday's DRFBets race of the day, race number 8 at the Big A. Again, remember, cast your fan vote for Horse of the Year and enter to win a trip to the Queen's Plate this June at Woodbine. It's a nice fan vote contest that we're offering, presented by Woodbine, and you can access all the information at drf.com/eclipse. Approximate post time for race number 8 at the Big A on Thursday, 4:28 Eastern. Best of luck.